What's good, everybody? It's your brother Nubreed coming through with another live stream. As you enter the broadcast, make sure y'all hit the like button. Something happened with people. There's been a change that has taken place. And recently, I've been doing a series of videos really pointing out this shift that has taken place in society. And a lot of you brothers and sisters can relate to what's going on simply because you chose to be different. And that's really all it took. You chose to repent. You chose your peace over dysfunction. A lot of you all may have fell out with people because you decided not to try to make pieces fit into a puzzle that just doesn't match. And now God's chosen people are playing a long game. We realize how precious life really is, and now it's imperative to pretty much disassociate with people who are negligent with their own future. We can't expect these people to care about us, brothers and sisters. We cannot expect them to desire what's good for us when they don't even care about themselves. Meaning, when they're not seeking the Creator, when they're not seeking the Most High, there's going to be a change for the worse in these people's lives. How many of you all began to see this change when you started trying to preach the truth to people? Not necessarily preach. Let's use the word inform. Some of y'all was trying to inform when certain world events took place. They wasn't hearing you. Some of you all were given adamant warnings about certain medical decisions that people made. They wasn't hearing you. And then you seen them go through a metamorphosis. And now we're living in a time where nobody can hide who they really are. How many of y'all, as of late, have been around people who you thought really had love for you, but something happened? It was a dire situation in which that person revealed just how much they hate you. And they started spewing all type of venom. And you realize, man, I didn't know all that was in that person. I didn't know it was that much animosity and resentment. And you didn't know because they managed to keep a smile on their face. But as of late, something switched where these people can't do it anymore. They can't act like they are the image of perfection anymore. They can't hide their true intentions. And I think, honestly, brothers and sisters, I think it's because the Most High is about ready to get his people away from these vipers. I think it's about that time. And we're in a whole different season, y'all. And I'm watching this change take place, and I want to know from y'all, how many of y'all see what I'm talking about, and what is it that you've noticed in people? What are the changes that you see in people? What has taken place in your personal lives where you know that something ain't right, that there's some type of spirit operating through these people, and they all seem to have the same kind of spirit? And the interesting part about all of this is a lot of these people who do these things, um, and when I say do these things, I mean people who will betray you, lie on you, slander, people who lash out once they're spotted. A lot of the times the reason they would do this is simply because you're just somebody who can see and you're not supposed to see it. How many of you all have been around people who try to keep you in constant anxiety? And I'm going to tell you this too. There is nothing worse than when you are going through something. You're going through some hard times. And you're around somebody who's supposed to be significant to you. And they consciously decide to make your bad situation worse. There's no pain like that. Especially when you're able to look back at what that person did. It's very demonic. It's low. That's some of the worst things you can do. This happens in families. This happens with so-called friendships. This happens in marriages. It's nothing worse than that. When somebody is down and they're struggling to get up and you stomp them. Oof. It'll knock the wind out your sails. And there's a lot of men walking around who was down and out, and their woman stomped them while they was down, pretty much gutted them. It's like a kick to the gut. Same thing with men. There's men that do that to women. Instead of being that significant person, that support system to say, you know what, you're going to get through this. I'm going to help you through this. Instead of being a friend or a family member or a so-called significant other, it's like when they see you at a point of weakness, they go in for the kill because it makes them feel better about themselves. If they have any type of insecurities about themselves, it makes them feel better when you're hurting. It makes them feel more superior when you're hurting. And that is low. And that's the type of vile spirit that we're witnessing on this earth now with a lot of people. It is absolutely disgusting. And you know, when I talk about these sort of topics, I want to be clear with you all. This is not complaints. This is not us basically screaming, oh me, oh my. That ain't what these videos is about. This is about awareness. Because the things that some of us go through in life are meant to be a testimony for others. Because if we never witnessed this type of pain, we would never be able to word it or help the next person to get through it. Because of course, there's light at the end of the tunnel. There's nothing like when somebody count you out when you're down, but you bounce back and they have to see you bounce back. There's nothing like it. It's very rewarding because it shows you that the Most High is just. How many of you all have been in circumstances where somebody thought they were better than you? They counted you out. They thought you were down for the count. They spoke curses on your life. How many people tried to hold you to your past by speaking to your future in a negative way? And what do I mean by speaking to your future in a negative way? When somebody says, you're always going to be problematic in this area or that area, when you're actively repenting, meaning you're making changes in your life, but they're judging you more than than the Most High is. The Most High haven't even counted you out because He gave you another day to live. But you'll be around certain people who can only spot out your shortcomings, and they will continue to focus on the negative and attempts to diminish everything else that's a part of you because it makes them feel better about themselves. Truthfully speaking, they're lacking something. That's what it is. The truth is they are lacking something. And I know it's getting rather dark out here. Actually, there is a light that I can turn on. One moment. I don't think that did it any. I don't think that did it any justice, really. But it's okay, as long as y'all can hear me. As long as y'all can hear me. And then they'll get extremely upset when the Most High decides to elevate you. And it shows you that the Almighty is just. It shows you that He don't play no games. How many of y'all have endured this, lived through this? It could have been your whole community that counted you out. It could have been more than just somebody close to you. It could have been everybody. And just because everybody gave up on you doesn't mean you gave up on yourself. And it doesn't mean the Most High gave up on you. Why? Because when people were criticizing you, antagonizing you, you were looking at yourself and saying, okay, Lord, if I'm wrong, if I'm with fault, help me. Some of you all have to pray like David did. If you got the world coming against you, ask the Most High if there's anything impure in you, have it removed immediately. So you're holding yourself accountable. So the Most High is dealing with you personally, not no man, not no woman, not no family member, not some fair weather friend with a trick up their sleeve, but actually the Most High holding you accountable and changing you. Because something happened with people. Something that's a little bit disturbing happened with people. The level of selfishness and entitlement coming from people nowadays is absolutely sickening. And as chosen ones of the Almighty, you got to understand that a lot of these vipers out here in the world, they feel entitled to y'all's energy. They feel entitled to y'all's blessings. They feel entitled to all that is you. And They can care less about you. For a lot of you brothers and sisters, you got to understand that you are simply just a, man, this is an interesting word I'm looking for. It's almost like they just look at brothers and sisters in truth as a challenge, some sort of challenge. That's it. It's not any real love. It's that Satan has put a battery in their back to challenge people with good hearts to see if they can break you. And I'm not talking about testing the spirit. I'm talking about people challenging your faith, because they lack faith. So they'll project on you to do things to you and then blame you for your response. KC Moto, thank you for the support. Says powerful message. That's all I need to hear. Salute. Absolutely. But you know, we far from allowing these people to really to do anything at this point. A lot of us are waking up. I've been getting so many messages about how my videos have been really helping people get over reactionary abuse and even be able to recognize it when it's happening. So that is very rewarding, because that's what the narcissist really uses the most. Yep. Somebody said they will gang stalk you and then call you evil for rebuking them. Absolutely. Absolutely. Nowadays, people will literally hate you for setting boundaries for yourself. People will hate you for respecting yourself. Just because they don't have no respect for you, you're not supposed to respect yourself. You're not supposed to repent. You're not supposed to think highly of yourself. You're supposed to think just as low as they think of you, based on your past, based on whatever, based on how they feel about you. Don't let nobody dictate or determine who you are based on how they feel. If they have if they have so many negative thoughts about you, they don't need to be in your life. I don't know who this message is for, but it's for somebody. If you're such a problem, if you're such a bad guy, if you're such a villain, and they're so perfect, then the right thing to do is just remove yourself from the equation, or let them remove themselves. Because there'll be a lot of people who show dissatisfaction and discontent for you, but for whatever reason, something is different about these devils now. Something has changed where they'll have all these emotions about you, but they'll stick around you. What is that about? What is that about? How could you absolutely loathe, hate someone? How could you be around somebody and salivating at the moment where they're destroyed, but you still want to be around them? It's weird. And really, they're just there to get a front row seat to see you hurting. Thank you for the support, relevant love. I appreciate it. Monitoring spirits is what they are. Yep, they use you as a battery. Somebody said it in the chat. You become a battery for them. And you got to pay attention to people, man. If somebody can, and this can go for marriages, this can go for whatever. If somebody is okay with leaving a situation bad, if your husband or wife can sleep knowing that they have hurt and offended you, you need to get rid of that person. That person's the devil. Kingdom Mind, thank you for the support. I appreciate it. Let me repeat what I just said, because it's getting deep. If your husband or wife can harm and hurt you and know they did you wrong, or know that things ain't right because of something they done or said, and they can sleep at night, oh no, that's a red flag. That's a huge red flag. That's somebody who that's somebody who gets good sleep because they know that they got you out of character. Know that they got you in some type of anguish or pain. That's evil. And they'll sleep good too. Somebody said it. They will sleep good too. But you'll have these people who really don't really rock with you, but they will want to be around you. For what? Move around. This is why I don't associate with too many people, because it'd be too much weird energy out here. Too much weird energy. Everybody's in secret competition with the next person. Everybody has that covetous spirit where they're comparing and contrasting to the next person. Something has happened with people. I just don't see the humility that we used to see, not even 10 years ago. King Connect, thank you for the support. Says, you're speaking the truth, brother. Going through persecution right now. Got wrongfully fired from the job. Counting it all joy. Being patient. Keeping my faith strong. The Father will give me opportunity. Absolutely. The Father's going to bless you, brother. When one door closes, another one opens up. And see, that's another thing I want a lot of you brothers and sisters to know. When you are placed in a situation where it's extreme discomfort, sometimes that means it's time to move forward and get out of your comfort zone. Sometimes you got to embrace the discomfort to get change. It's just like if you lifting weights, progressive overload is going to get you out of your comfort zone, but it's going to build muscle. Same thing in life. You know, some of you all may have soul ties with certain individuals. Some of y'all may be heavily connected with certain people, but you got to rip the Band-Aid off, because it may cause you a lot of discomfort. You may really have feelings for that person or want to be around that person, but they're just not right. And you got to rip the Band-Aid off, because it's better that you go through that slight time of discomfort than a lifetime of hurt, pain, and anguish. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's better that you go ahead and leave certain people behind in your life than go through a lifetime of abuse. It's better that you move forward than be destroyed by somebody who is sucking your energy dry. Somebody who doesn't see the best of you. Somebody who views you as an enemy. Somebody who actually hates you. There are situations where parents hold their children back by gaslighting and love bombing them, making them feel guilty for pursuing goals. And that child never grows up to really reach their full potential, because mom or dad wanted to keep them around as if they were their just personal slave or something. And then you got situations where some children use the mistakes of the parent to try to keep the parent in constant guilt. Very evil stuff. Instead of forgiving the parent is ask for forgiveness, but they want to, keep the parent in, owing them for their entire lives, instead of just forgiving them. I'm telling you, it's a lot of manipulative, vile people out here, and it's tough. It's not easy nowadays to actually connect with good people. That's why you got to be very wise. You got to be very mindful. You know? Yeah, people have changed for the worse. Somebody said they feed off of you and study. Yes, they study and feed off of you. Yep, and their whole goal is to keep you unbalanced. That's why anytime you take in 10 steps forward, they'll knock you back 11 steps. They'll call themselves mirroring you. You're just being you. You don't even know you're in a war. You don't even know that you are in a war with somebody. You're completely caught off guard. You're looking at this person as a family member, a loved one, a husband, a wife. But they are petty and they're going tit for tat. And you don't even know. That's how it is, man. Somebody says, discernment is our superpower. Absolutely. Yeah, they will study your movements, your ins, outs, your whereabouts. Somebody say, I think it's crazy. Sometimes they'll start mirroring you, and you will notice some of them go as far as dress up like you. Oh yeah. Oh, they'll definitely do that. Yes, and they're very calculated. Yeah, it gets downright creepy with a lot of people. It gets downright creepy because I think a lot of people have become these vultures because they don't want to seek the creator themselves and they see something in you that they want. And then it's crazy because they feel like they got to destroy you to get it. They got to extinguish your light and they believe that somehow that will position them. No, it doesn't work like that. Somebody says you're talking about gang stalking. Yes, gang stalking. Gang stalking, when it happens, it typically is started by somebody close to you, somebody that you let in, because they will be stalking you, and then they'll take whatever information they gather to the devil, and they'll deliver that, try to have you delivered up. That's what it is. That's why I tell people all the time, man. I be saying this. I'm like, look, it is not just because somebody may give you attention, and I mean any type of attention, because somebody may be checking up on you, calling, seeing what's up, that don't necessarily mean that that person is rocking with you for real. Now, I'm not saying be paranoid or nothing like that. You know who's rocking with you and who's not. But some people are keeping tabs on you, and they really just want proximity to you. They really just want access to you. That doesn't mean just because they're keeping tabs on you that they really have any type of love for you at all. That's what you got to understand. They're just keeping tabs on you. Some of them are keeping tabs to see if you are still stressed out, are you still hurting, are you in a bad place, because that's where they want you. That's where they want you. And then they'll keep tabs on you. They'll see, okay, this person's doing a little bit better. Okay, I can see they're shining. They're kind of elevating. So now I gotta hinder that. This is the way they think. So they'll come up with ways to try to sabotage your growth. Yes, that's what it is, Amy. Intel and torture tactics. So they'll try to find ways to sabotage whatever you got going on. Why? Because they don't want you to be happy. They don't want you to have any peace. There's people that's placed in your life to do the complete opposite, stop you from acquiring peace. And the crazy part is eventually they just can't hide it anymore. They'll reveal it. Yep. Yeah, they are agent provocateurs. Christian, thank you for the support, says, brother, said, what's up, brother? Can you say something about people who are used to try to manipulate and belittle someone else with the aim of creating confusion and insecurity? Absolutely. Yes, the reason why they belittle you, aka degrade you, and the reason I like the word degrade is because they're not the creator. The Most High may have a grade for you higher than what they give you. Some people may see things based on what's physical and try to degrade who you actually are based on either mistakes you made or something that's physical. When in actuality, that's a sign of insecurity. That's also a sign of control, that they're probably narcissistic and want to have some control over you. And they're trying to make you shrink yourself. That's what belittling is. You may be a person who is confident. See, when people think of belittling, they think of somebody who's weak in a corner, that's easy to talk down on. But really, it's normally those who are chosen ones who are confident in the Most High who get the most belittling, because people carry this weird energy where they feel like they have to shrink you. And then they'll try to make you seem like something's wrong with you, or it's distasteful that you know your value. That's what it really is. They don't want you to know your value, because if you know your value, they cannot control you. If you know if you have self-worth, right? If you have self-worth and you know that, hey, I might not be perfect, but I'm a good person, and the Most High is not done with me, and there's hope for me, and I have faith, just the faith of a mustard seed, that I can overcome. They want to extinguish that. They don't want you to have that, because Satan wants you to let go of all faith and turn to him, where he can control you. They are demon spawns. That's why they sit there and try to belittle and degrade you. And in actuality, they want to be you. A lot of these people want people to react to them as people react to you. They see that you may have a way with people. They are jealous of the anointing on your life. And so they find it necessary, well, let me shrink this person. Let me just be a hindrance to them. Let me plant seeds of doubt. That's how they think. Yeah, people belittle others to uplift themselves because they feel less than that person, right? So deep down, they feel less than you. They feel threatened by your authenticity. A lot of these people, they can't really be themselves. They have to hide their true intentions all the time. They always have to code switch. They always have to give people versions of themselves. They can never be real. These are people who can never be real, and they're jealous because you can be you. And you know what's so crazy about this change we seeing in people? How many of y'all can relate to what I'm about to say here? Hear me out, y'all. How many of y'all have been around a person and you thought that they was a blessing? You thought they was cool, you thought they was good, until they exposed who they were. And then when you see them, you see something totally different. Like, you actually see the aura around them. That's a sign that your discernment is stepping up, where you can see the aura around a person. It's like, you know what? That person's energy is off. and you can see it, you can feel it when you're around them. You like, ooh, that's a wicked spirit. Once that mask slip, you like, wow. And you didn't know that they were that dark. And they come in all kind of packages. Especially in the religious community, a lot of them come off very like, they come off very humble and you know, very modest how they act, and they just come off like decent folks. And I'm not saying that there's not hope for them to change and really become real with themselves, but I'm saying that once you can see, you know what type of work that needs to be done with those people. And some of you all are not equipped to be around these type of narcissistic demons. So the best thing you can do is just remove yourself and improve yourself. And this is how I know we're truly living in the end times, man. Just based on how people are acting. That's why I tell people be safe out there. You know, of course you got to live your life. Life don't stop. You know, you got to stay on the move. You got to stay up. You got to stay active. You still got to deal with people. However, I believe that these videos are able to really point out some of the warning signs. That's why I wanted to come into a live stream and talk about this, because we've been doing video uploads about it. But how many of y'all are seeing it too? So you can give your testimony of their tactics. And so others won't fall for this. Yep, somebody says you can't ignore the warning signs. That's a fact. Yeah, they're very, very sneaky. It's just a bad type of spirit with these people. Somebody said it, they are sneaky. Yep. Yep. And then, yeah, somebody said it. And also, when those type of people get judged, they call it persecution. That's a fact. They turn everything around. Because you got to understand, they're better than everybody. Nothing is their fault. Everything that happens is everybody else's fault. That's what the narcissist does. They don't never look at themselves and say, hey, I could have treated this person better, or I could have done this or done that. Listen, they are incapable of that. They are incapable of it. But anyway, y'all know what time it is, man. Hopefully, oh, listen, I don't own the rights to whatever music's playing in the background. It's just background noise, YouTube, so don't hit me with copyright. But yeah, they study you, they'll manipulate you. But once they reveal themselves, because sometimes somebody can say something and that's all it took. Like, wow, that's how you really feel. And then one thing about words, you just can't walk them back. You just can't walk them back. You know, once it's out there, it's out there. So you got to listen to the words that come out of their mouths. Somebody said real manipulators and gaslighters. Fact. Yeah, man, I've been seeing this a whole lot. I was at the gym today, and a brother who watches the platform came up and he was like, bro, those messages you putting out about true colors showing and the mask slipping off, he was like, bro, keep doing that, bro. He was like, man, you have no idea how much your videos help. And that's like the third time in 2 weeks there's been a brother that approached me at the gym and was like, bro, don't stop the messages, bro. Like, he's like, man, I ain't mean to interrupt your workout. Brother was like, I don't mean to interrupt your workout because I'm over there hitting the chest press. Brother came up like, man. Then he was like, look, let me just show you my watch history on YouTube. Pull up his watch history. He was like, look, I've been watching you 2 years. And he was like, man, it got these videos you pumping out, it got me out of a lot, bro. And I said, man, I ain't gonna stop, because I know how, as time dwells, the change in people just gets worse. And so they're gonna be coming up with new tactics. They're gonna have new ways of trying to get at the righteous. They're gonna have new avenues that they're gonna take, new approaches. Because you gotta understand, they like to mix and mingle amongst God's people. Why? Because it's not enough for them to go after the 2/3, even though they are part of the 2/3. They don't really want to go after them. They know they want to destroy a man of the Most High. They want to destroy a woman of the Most High. That's who they want. Why? Because they're not getting satiated going against each other. No, they need one of you chosen ones. They need one of you enlightened people who got that soul, who got that energy. No, they want to cannibalize you, because they feel like that's a notch on their belt. That's a rank and a level up for them. And it ain't gonna get them nowhere but pain and suffering. Somebody says, I think you might be afraid that I'm one of them. I don't even know who you are. Like, why would you say that? Somebody says, man, 1 Peter 5:9, resist him, steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same sufferings are experienced by your brotherhood in the world. Wow. Let's read that again. Resist him steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same sufferings are experienced by your brotherhood in the world. Yeah, we're experiencing the same thing. And we got to be long suffering in it. But I believe that these type of messages keep us going. Because the goal is for us to continue to fulfill our purpose and really accomplish the goal at hand. And that's fulfill the destiny that the Most High put on us, man. Because that's all them Agent Smiths want to do, is stop that. And it's crazy, man. How many times in life have you been on the brink of being released from a lot? And then you had all of these people in your life that was trying to stop you before you hit the finish line and reach the next level. That's how you know when a blessing coming, when the devil throw everything at you. When people start switching up. When people go out of their way to disrespect and harm you. When people try to sabotage your growth and development. But peep this though. The moment you remove them from your life, why everything just start going better? Your health get better. Your mind is more intact. Y'all notice that? Why is it certain people, you'll be around them and all of a sudden your finances ain't looking right? Your money looking funny? But then when you get rid of them, you're restored. You're less tired. All of a sudden you got more confidence. It's almost like you can breathe. Why? Because they was there to harvest your energy. They was there to oppress you. The flying monkeys was there to oppress you. They was there to spiritually blackmail you. They was there to do all manners of evil. But then when they gone, it's like all of a sudden you remember who you are. Because guess what? When you were around certain people, you forgot who you were. You forgot who you were because you let their energy and their thoughts and their hatred towards you determine who you were. Yeah, it's called narc fatigue. And you started believing what they believed about you. And it was energetic. They might not even said it out loud, but it was energetic. The energy that they had towards you was weighing in on you. And they were gouging you. They were galvanizing you. Yep. Somebody said they were trying to destiny swap with you. Yep. And by the way, I want to say this. That word, those two words, destiny swap, that came from my platform. A lot of people just be throwing that word around. I mean, they're using it the correct way. But people ain't, I'm not gonna get on that people giving credit thing, but that's where that talking point came from. But I hear a lot of people using it, and it's cool. It's cool. It's a lot of things that I've said that a lot of people be copying, bro. A lot of things, but I don't even sweat it really. Yeah, everybody's saying it now. There's a lot of things everybody's saying. You know, when I speak in regards to protecting your peace, that's a huge talking point. Um, Discernment, the shift that's going on, all of it. But a lot of people try to do what I'm doing is listen. This is God given right here. This is the anointing that the Most High put on my life, and that's why people visit the platform, because this is true influence that comes from life experience and biblical discernment. So it's one of those things. But somebody said the righteous cannot be destiny swapped. No, they can't, but they will attempt. If you notice, every time I speak about destiny swap, and I say they attempt the destiny swap with you, if they were able to actually destiny swap with you, then you allowed that, because the righteous thing to do would have been to leave them people alone. I'm telling you, yeah. Somebody said you would have to have spiritual consent in order to destiny swap, and that's the thing. People end up giving up that consent by yielding themselves to people who are against them. And I mean that in every way. If you're yielding your members, if you're yielding your energy, if you're yielding your time, if you are yielding your efforts towards somebody who actually hates you. And if you listen to people, they'll tell you that they hate you and they're just using you. There's people who will let you know, if you listen to them, that look, they hate you, they're just using you to get what they need to get. And every second that they have to deal with you, they hate it. And you'll find that out when they really expose themselves, that's what it is with them. They'll use you until you no longer benefit them. That's what it is. When you're no longer beneficial, they'll do the most cold-hearted, callous things they can do. And you'll find out that there was never any concern or love for you. I'm telling you, you'll find out. And they'll try their best to hurt you the worst way they can. When they find out that they can no longer benefit from you. And then you'll see how unfair they really are. You see how cold-hearted they really are. I'm telling you. Just like y'all see in some of these relationships. These women will use the kid against the father. and deny the father access to the kid because it didn't work between them, why? That woman ran out of options. And so what is that woman going to do? Use something that man loves to harm him. This is what these women be doing. If y'all know women that's doing that as homegirls and sisters and cousins and aunties and them, you need to tell these women to cut that nasty behavior out. That's sick. Because the only thing they doing is hurting a child at the end of the day. There's so many women that do that. They can't, they didn't get their way in a situation, so now all of a sudden they a victim, and I don't feel safe. I don't, my kids ain't safe around that person. But you laid up and open your legs to that person. But now your kid ain't safe around that person. No, that's evil. That's just that they didn't get their way, and now they're gonna hurt that person. When really the only person getting hurt is the child in the situation. That's the only person getting hurt is the child. That's the type of snake stuff that they do. It's evil. Yes, somebody said it. That's a Jezebel spirit. Exactly. Somebody said, you see who people truly are when someone dies, they come like vultures. Oh, yeah. If somebody's sick, you'll see how certain family members will start moving because they looking to get the bag. Conniving. Something's wrong with people these days. Yeah, I'm telling you, somebody said it, man. These women will bring everybody around their child but the father. That's crazy. And I could talk about this kind of stuff because I've been there and done that. I've been to court and all that back in the day. I've done it all. Women will let everybody around their child but the father. For real. They bring witches, warlocks, gang stalkers, perps, PDFs, everybody but the father. Sad, sad, sad. Somebody says, my mom did me like that. Oh yeah. Then when the children grow up, they'll figure it out. They will figure it out. I don't even know what got me on this topic. I know that a lot of my audience is male based, and I know that y'all be going through some stuff because I've been through that. I've been through stuff like that. I know what it's like. And that type of battle ain't no game. Somebody said my old homie from high school left his granny to die in the hospital just looking for some money, shaking my head. Oh, that's sad. Somebody said, could you imagine how dark 20 years would be? Right. Somebody said 10 years ago, my mom turned covert narc. Man. Somebody said, you're passionate Nubreed and you say what needs to be said. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Actually, didn't even plan on going live this long. I was going to go live 30 minutes. But I just wanted to sit on the porch and chop it up with y'all. Yeah. I mean, and it ain't just women. I'm not just talking about women. I'm talking about everybody. Men do some sick things too, man. And I mean, like, what I mean by that is, just when it comes to friendships, a lot of brothers these days don't understand what it's like to be brothers, man. They don't get it. They just don't understand what it's like to really be brothers. The brotherly love is gone out of the community these days. And really what it's going to take is brothers actually building something together, going into some type of business together. When there's work involved, that's when you become close to people. A lot of our men, we got to come together and build together, man. And we got to be the example for the women, because a lot of these sisters, they be in competition with each other. But we got to show that we know how to lead by example. When we lead by example and show that, oh, these men are, look at all these great men coming together, building something, the women will fall in line. Women will fall in line because why? We're leading by example. You know? And there's times where we just got to keep the sisters out of certain things, and it just got to be us brothers building something. There's times we got to keep the sisters out so they can know their role and they'll be comfortable in their role. You know, while the brothers build. Yep, but I want to say all praises to the Most High, man. It's a nice night out, man. I'm gonna have to go somewhere and walk, man. It's like it's probably still like almost 80 degrees outside. That's a little bit more chilly. It's probably about 75, 74 degrees outside. But what a blessing building with the like-minded. I just wanted to tap in with y'all on this Saturday evening. You know, since the Sabbath just ended, because, you know, I like to chill Friday sundown, Saturday sundown. I wanted to drop something Friday during the day, but I was ripping and running so much, I didn't get time to make a video. But I thought I'd touch bases with y'all tonight. And of course, y'all going to be seeing a lot more uploads coming. This week is going to be very upload heavy. Yeah, y'all going to probably see me upload a video every day this week. Yeah. But you know, if you've learned something from this particular topic, go ahead and like, share, subscribe if you're not subscribed. I want to thank each and every one of y'all. Y'all be blessed. Y'all be safe tonight. Yes, stay blessed, y'all. Y'all know where to support the work. NubreedGlobalTruth.com. Also, if you want to support the Cash App, it's appreciated. Nubreed Global Truth is the Cash App. And support HebrewCare.com as well, man. One love to y'all. Stay safe. Peace.